Have you ever been disrespected, felt that surge of anger and wanted to snap back? It's tempting, right? But here's the shocking truth. Reacting instantly to disrespect is actually a sign of weakness, and it gives the other person exactly what they want: control over your emotions. What if I told you there's a better way? A way that not only helps you stay calm, but makes you stronger in the face of disrespect. In this video, we're diving into Stoic philosophy to uncover the secret to staying powerful and in control when others try to provoke you. No more knee-jerk reactions. No more losing your peace. Stay tuned, because you're about to learn how to turn disrespect into your greatest source of strength. Number 1, don't react immediately. A sign of weakness. Imagine this. Someone insults you, belittles you, or disrespects you in some way. In that moment, the urge to react is overwhelming. You might feel the adrenaline kicking in, your heart racing and your mind preparing for a sharp comeback. It feels like you have to respond, right? You want to defend yourself, prove them wrong, or simply show that their words don't have power over you. But here's the thing. Reacting immediately is actually a sign of weakness. Let's break this down. When you react impulsively, you're essentially handing over control to the person who disrespects you. You let them dictate your emotional state. Think about it. Every time you lose your cool in the face of disrespect, you are surrendering your peace and mental clarity to someone else. And that's exactly what they want. They want to provoke you, to see you lose your composure, because that gives them the upper hand. They get to control your reaction, and in turn, your emotional state. This is where Stoic philosophy offers a powerful shift in perspective. The Stoics, such as Marcus Aurelius, Epictetus, and Seneca, taught that the only thing we can truly control is our own response. External events, like insults or disrespect, are beyond our control. But how we react, that's entirely within our power. And the Stoics knew that the more we let our emotions take over in moments of disrespect, the more we weaken ourselves. When we give in to the initial impulse to react, we are allowing external circumstances to shape us. Instead, Stoicism encourages us to take a pause. That moment of hesitation, where you choose not to react immediately, is where your true strength lies. The real power comes from choosing your response, not letting your emotions choose for you. When you practice this pause, you allow yourself the space to reflect and decide what's actually important. Do I need to defend my honor in this moment? Is this person's opinion worth my time? More often than not, the answer is no. Disrespect is often a reflection of the other person's character, not yours. By not reacting, you show that you aren't rattled by their behavior. You maintain your dignity and self-control. Take a moment to breathe and ask yourself, why should I let this person control my mood and my peace? If we react immediately, we're allowing their actions to dictate our emotional state. We're letting them win. But when we pause and think, we refuse to give them that power. Think of the great Stoic philosophers. Marcus Aurelius, when faced with difficult situations, would often remind himself that nothing external can harm his inner peace unless he lets it. He knew that his reactions were his own responsibility, and he chose to respond with calm, even in the most trying situations. This isn't about being passive or avoiding confrontation. It's about being strategic. Reacting impulsively might give you a momentary sense of relief or victory, but it's a fleeting one. Real strength is in restraint. The moment you choose not to react, you are choosing to stay above the chaos. You are showing your inner strength, and making a conscious decision to maintain your peace no matter what others throw your way. In a way, reacting immediately is a sign that we are controlled by our emotions, something the Stoics believed was beneath us. Instead, we should aim to master our emotions, not let them dictate our actions. By not reacting impulsively, you take back the control. You remain calm, composed, and powerful. And when you do finally choose to respond, if you choose to respond at all, it will be with wisdom, clarity, and purpose. So next time you're disrespected, pause. Take a deep breath. Don't give in to the impulse to react. Let them expose themselves while you hold on to your power. Your silence, your calm, is your strength. This is the Stoic way of reclaiming your peace and not allowing disrespect to have any power over you. Number 2, walk away if needed. Strength in leaving. We've all been there. In a heated moment when the disrespect keeps coming at you, it might feel like your only option is to stand your ground and fight back. But Stoic philosophy teaches us something profoundly powerful. Sometimes the greatest act of strength is walking away. When someone disrespects you, they're not just attacking you, they're also testing your boundaries, your emotional control, and your peace of mind. The Stoics knew that maintaining your inner calm was far more important than engaging in every conflict that came your way. The idea of walking away isn't about cowardice or avoiding problems. It's about preserving your peace and not wasting energy on situations or people that are beneath your dignity. Leaving a toxic situation is not weakness. It is a powerful act of self-respect. In fact, choosing to walk away is one of the most courageous things you can do. It shows that you know your worth, and you refuse to allow others to drag you down into their negative energy. Epictetus, the Stoic philosopher, once said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." If you stay in an environment that constantly disrespects you, you're essentially choosing to allow that disrespect to affect your emotional well-being. But walking away is your opportunity to take back control of your own mental space. You are choosing not to let the negativity around you define your day or your peace of mind. You're stepping away from chaos and stepping into calm. This doesn't mean you should avoid all conflict or run away from every difficult conversation. Stoicism teaches us that we should engage in challenges that serve our greater good. But not every battle is worth fighting. Some situations are best left behind, because by staying you only prolong the suffering. Walking away doesn't mean you're afraid to stand up for yourself. It means you've decided that your peace is more important than winning a pointless confrontation. Think of it this way. If you're trapped in a room with someone who disrespects you and you know that any further interaction will only escalate the situation, staying in that room is a sign that you're valuing the conflict over your own well-being. But walking away? That's a decision to protect your peace. Protect your energy and preserve your mental clarity. It's a statement that you are not willing to let anyone have that much control over you. In practice, this could mean physically leaving a situation or simply disengaging from the conversation. If the disrespect continues, if the person refuses to show you the basic decency you deserve, remove yourself. It's the ultimate Stoic power move, to control your environment by removing yourself from negativity. As Seneca put it, freedom is the power to live as you choose. And sometimes, the best choice is to simply walk away. And here's the most important part. Walking away isn't about weakness, it's about wisdom. It's about recognizing that your time, energy, and peace are valuable commodities, and not Every person or situation deserves them. By walking away from disrespect, you're not letting someone off the hook. You're showing them that their words or actions have no power over you. You're teaching them that disrespect won't elicit a reaction, but will instead lead to your absence. You're sending a clear message: I choose peace over conflict. The Stoics believed that the wise person is not someone who fights every battle, but someone who knows which battles are worth fighting. In the case of disrespect, often the battle worth fighting is the one where you refuse to engage. Sometimes the wisest, most powerful choice is to walk away, to protect your peace and leave the chaos behind. By doing so, you keep your integrity intact. You don't let their disrespect change who you are or the way you feel about yourself. Instead, you maintain your inner strength and control, proving that you are above the petty games of others. So, the next time you find yourself faced with disrespect, ask yourself, is this situation worth my time? Is it worth my peace? If the answer is no, then don't hesitate. Walk away. It's not an act of avoidance, it's an act of strength. Number 3, think like a Stoic. Control your emotions, don't let them control you. One of the core principles of Stoic philosophy is that we cannot control the actions of others, but we can always control our response. This is where true power lies, in the way we choose to respond to the situations we face. When someone disrespects you, the first thing you'll likely feel is a wave of emotion. Maybe it's anger, frustration, or sadness. But here's where the Stoic mindset comes into play. Don't let those emotions control you. Instead, recognize them, acknowledge them, and then choose how to respond. Marcus Aurelius, the great Stoic philosopher and Roman emperor, famously wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." This is a reminder that while you can't control what others say or do, you can absolutely control how you respond. When someone insults you or disrespects you, that's their behavior. What you choose to feel in that moment and how you act in response, that's yours. The first step in thinking like a Stoic is to pause and reflect. When someone disrespects you, don't react in the heat of the moment. Instead, give yourself the space to step back, breathe, and think. Ask yourself, what is this situation really about? What's the underlying motive of this person's disrespect? Often, disrespect isn't about you. It's a reflection of the other person's insecurities, frustrations, or lack of self-awareness. Realizing this helps you detach your emotions from the situation. Another key Stoic principle is the idea that life is not always fair, and we are not entitled to fairness from others. This might sound harsh, but it's liberating. Stoics believed that we should not expect others to treat us with respect simply because we believe we deserve it. In fact, expecting fairness from others often sets us up for disappointment and frustration. Instead, we can shift our focus to how we respond to unfairness. So when disrespect comes your way, rather than reacting with anger or frustration, remind yourself, I'm not entitled to be treated a certain way by anyone, and that's okay. By releasing the expectation of fairness, you free yourself from the emotional grip that disrespect can hold over you. You no longer need to feel hurt or offended by someone's words or actions. Instead, you can choose to remain unmoved, unaffected by the opinions or behavior of others. This doesn't mean you become numb or indifferent. It means you understand that your emotional state is a choice. The Stoics didn't deny their emotions. They simply chose not to be controlled by them. When disrespected, a Stoic would recognize the emotion, understand its origin, and then let it pass without allowing it to dictate their actions. A powerful Stoic exercise is distancing yourself from your emotions in moments of conflict. When faced with disrespect, imagine that you're observing the situation from the outside, almost as if you're a neutral third party. From this perspective, you'll see that the disrespectful person's actions say more about them than they do about you. And this realization gives you the emotional distance you need to remain calm and composed. Think of it like this: you are not your emotions. You experience emotions, but they do not define you. By practicing this awareness, you can avoid being swept away by anger, frustration, or hurt. Instead, you stay anchored in the knowledge that you have the power to choose how you respond. Ultimately, thinking like a Stoic means training your mind to act based on reason, not on emotion. When someone disrespects you, don't let their words or actions dictate your behavior. Instead, choose to remain in control, choosing your response with wisdom and calmness. The power to remain unshaken, no matter what happens, lies within you. Number 4, think long-term. Don't sacrifice your future for short-term emotional satisfaction. In the heat of the moment, it's easy to get caught up in the desire for immediate emotional release, whether that's a sharp retort, a heated argument, or lashing out. It feels good in the moment, doesn't it? But the Stoic philosopher teaches us that giving into this impulse sacrifices long-term peace for short-term satisfaction. When someone disrespects you, the instinct is to act quickly, to defend your honor, or fight back in the moment. But Stoic wisdom calls for us to think beyond the immediate conflict. Every decision we make in response to someone else's behavior is not just about the present moment. It has a ripple effect that can affect our future. Seneca, a famous Stoic philosopher, often warned against letting temporary emotions dictate our actions. He said, "No man is free who is not master of himself." In other words, when we allow ourselves to be swept away by the desire for immediate emotional satisfaction, whether it's the thrill of winning an argument or the pleasure of making someone feel small, we are not truly free. We are enslaved by our emotions, and in that moment we are sacrificing our future peace for fleeting pride. Take a step back and ask yourself, what is more important to me? This momentary emotional release or my long-term peace of mind? In responding impulsively, you may win a small victory, but you lose something far more valuable: your ability to remain calm, composed, and in control of your life in the future. You let a brief moment of satisfaction take away your long-term emotional stability. This is where thinking long-term becomes a powerful Stoic practice. Marcus Aurelius, one of the most celebrated Stoic emperors, often meditated on the bigger picture of his life. He didn't let daily conflicts or disrespect derail him from his greater purpose. Instead, he reminded himself that his time and energy were better spent on matters of lasting importance: his relationships, his growth, and his duty as a leader, not petty arguments or fleeting moments of frustration. When you react immediately, driven by your emotions, you may feel like you've won the confrontation, but the consequences often go beyond the moment. You could damage a relationship, ruin your own mood for the rest of the day, or even have lingering feelings of regret. The rush of anger or pride may feel satisfying at first, but it doesn't bring lasting happiness or fulfillment. Instead, take a moment to assess what really matters in the grand scheme of things. Is it worth trading your long-term peace for a fleeting moment of emotional release? The Stoics believed in focusing on what truly lasts: wisdom, virtue, and inner tranquility. Everything else is temporary, including the disrespect you might face. A key Stoic practice here is detachment. Detach yourself from the immediate impulse to react and focus on the bigger picture. When someone disrespects you, ask yourself, how will I feel about this tomorrow, a week from now, or a year from now? Will this person's words matter in the long run, or will they fade into insignificance? By thinking long-term, you're not denying yourself the opportunity to stand up for yourself or confront injustice, but you are recognizing that acting out of anger or frustration rarely leads to lasting solutions. Instead, it often clouds our judgment and prevents us from making wise, strategic decisions that benefit us in the future. This is where emotional intelligence comes in, recognizing that not every insult needs a response. Not every disrespect needs to be addressed right away. By remaining calm and strategic, you create space to act in a way that benefits your long-term well-being, rather than falling into the trap of reacting impulsively. So, next time you're disrespected, take a deep breath and ask yourself, what will be more beneficial for me in the long run? Reacting in the moment or staying calm and composed for the future? By embracing this Stoic mindset, you'll find that your peace of mind is far more valuable than any short-term emotional victory. Number 5. Laugh internally. See the disrespect for what it is. One of the most liberating insights from Stoic philosophy is learning to see things as they truly are, not as we emotionally perceive them in the heat of the moment. When someone disrespects you, it's easy to take it personally, to feel hurt, or even to get angry. But a powerful Stoic practice is to see the disrespect for what it is, a futile, often petty attempt to steal your peace. What does it mean to laugh internally? It's not about mocking the other person. It's about taking a step back and seeing their behavior as something beneath you, something not worth your emotional investment. You recognize that their disrespect is more about their character than yours. And in that moment, you have a choice. You can either give in to the emotional pull and engage in conflict, or you can laugh at the absurdity of their attempt to unsettle you. The Stoics often used humor and detachment as tools to maintain their inner calm. Epictetus, for example, advised us to laugh at the things that others might get upset about. Because when we do, we take away their power. When you laugh internally, you make the disrespect about the other person's lack of understanding or control, not yours. Imagine this scenario. Someone insults you, tries to put you down, or belittles you. What if, instead of letting their words land and sink into your soul, you took a moment to see the situation from a more detached, almost humorous perspective? You could laugh at the absurdity of the moment, realizing that their words are just fleeting noise, a desperate attempt to provoke you. This doesn't mean you're dismissing the situation or becoming indifferent to how you're treated. It means you're choosing not to let the disrespect affect you on a deeper emotional level. When you see the situation with this clarity, you realize that disrespect is just a reflection of the other person's lack of control or their own insecurities. Their attempt to undermine you says far more about them than it does about you. And that's something to smile about, because it means they have failed to get under your skin. They're not in control of you. They're only revealing their own weaknesses. This Stoic practice of internal laughter is also about realizing the absurdity of letting someone else's opinion dictate your emotional state. When you take their disrespect personally, you give them the power to upset you. But when you laugh internally, you take back that power. You realize that their words are nothing more than a reflection of their own state of mind, and that has nothing to do with your worth, your dignity, or your character. Think of it like this. When someone disrespects you, you can either be offended, or you can choose to see it as a reflection of their lack of maturity or understanding. The person who insults you might be seeking validation, or they might be projecting their own pain onto you. In this sense, their words become a sign of their weakness, not yours. And that realization alone can make you smile, knowing that you're standing firm in your sense of self, while they are grasping at straws. This Stoic mindset also helps you detach from the emotional attachment to the event. When you let their words roll off your back with internal laughter, you stop giving them the power to disrupt your peace. You rise above their attempts to provoke you. In a way, you become untouchable, not because you're immune to the words themselves, but because you choose to see them for what they are: empty, fleeting, and ultimately powerless. So, next time someone disrespects you, try this practice of internal laughter. See their attempt to harm you as the weak, meaningless action that it is. By doing so, you reclaim your power and maintain your peace, proving that no one else has the ability to disturb your tranquility unless you allow it. The power of laughter in this sense is not about mockery, but about mastery. Mastery over your own emotional state and mastery over the influence others have on your peace. Number 6, remember who you are. Don't let disrespect define you. One of the most crucial elements of Stoic philosophy is the concept of self-awareness and self-mastery. When someone disrespects you, it's easy to feel like their opinion of you has the power to shape your identity. But the Stoics teach us to remember who we truly are, and to not allow anyone's disrespect to define our sense of self. In the face of disrespect, it's vital to anchor yourself in your own values and principles. You are not defined by how others treat you, but by how you choose to respond. When you remember who you are, your character, your strengths, and your values, you allow no one to distort your perception of yourself. Marcus Aurelius, the Stoic emperor, constantly reminded himself of his duty and his higher purpose. In his meditations, he wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this and you will find strength." This is an essential lesson. You have the power to control your sense of self, no matter what happens outside of you. When someone disrespects you, it's easy to internalize their negative opinion or attack. But the Stoic practice is to remember that you are not their opinion. You are not their insult. You are who you choose to be, and no one else's words or actions can take that away from you, unless you allow them to. Think of it this way. If someone tries to insult you or put you down, it's really an opportunity for you to demonstrate your true character. If you are rooted in your own values, such as kindness, patience, and self-respect, you will not allow the negativity of others to shake your foundation. The Stoic practice is to continuously remind yourself, I am the person I decide to be, and no one's words can change that. This also means that you are not entitled to others' respect, but you are always entitled to respect yourself. When you act in accordance with your values, when you live true to your principles, you remain untouchable by the disrespect of others. Their actions might sting for a moment, but they cannot alter who you are or your intrinsic worth unless you choose to let them. The idea here is not to respond to disrespect with defensiveness or anger, but to stay grounded in your own dignity and self-worth. When you are secure in who you are, someone's insult or negative behavior becomes less significant. It might momentarily affect you, but it will never define you. By practicing this Stoic awareness, you not only protect your peace but also maintain your integrity. You refuse to lower yourself to the level of those who would try to degrade you. Instead, you choose to act from a place of calm, wisdom, and strength. You act as the person you know yourself to be, not as someone else perceives you in that moment of conflict. So next time you're disrespected, remind yourself, I am not their disrespect. I am not their insult. I am who I choose to be, and no one has the power to change that unless I allow it. By staying true to your values and your character, you demonstrate the strength of a Stoic. You rise above the disrespect and maintain your dignity, because you know that your self-worth is not dependent on the opinions of others. You are the master of your own identity, and nothing can change that without your permission. Number 7, practice inner dialogue. Train the voice in your head to guide you toward calm and strategic responses. One of the most powerful tools at your disposal when faced with disrespect is your inner dialogue, the voice in your head that constantly shapes your perception of the world around you. According to Stoic philosophy, how you respond to a situation is not determined by the situation itself, but by the narrative you tell yourself about it. When someone disrespects you, that inner voice can either escalate the situation by fueling your anger and frustration, or it can help you stay calm and composed. This inner dialogue is critical in deciding how you respond. If you let your emotions take the lead, you may end up reacting impulsively and regret it later. But if you train your inner voice to guide you toward calm, thoughtful responses, you empower yourself to maintain control in any situation. The Stoics believed in the practice of self-reflection, taking time to observe and challenge the thoughts that arise in your mind. Epictetus, a Stoic philosopher, famously said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." This means that the thoughts you have in the moment of conflict, your reaction, hold the key to your emotional state. 2. Practice inner dialogue effectively. It's important to pause before reacting. When you feel disrespected, rather than immediately giving in to the anger or frustration, take a moment to listen to your inner voice. What is it telling you? Is it saying, "This person is wrong, and I need to fight back"? Or is it saying, "This is not worth my energy. I can choose how I respond"? The key to Stoic mastery is learning to question these immediate reactions, to step back and respond strategically, not emotionally. A powerful Stoic exercise is to interrogate your thoughts instead of obeying them. When someone disrespects you, ask yourself, is this person's opinion of me really important? Is it based on facts? Or is it just an expression of their own frustrations? What will my response in this moment mean for my peace and my future? By asking these questions, you reframe the situation and distance yourself from your immediate emotional impulses. This practice of questioning and reframing your thoughts helps to create a sense of calm in the face of conflict. Instead of becoming reactive, you take the time to choose your response consciously. This is where Stoic wisdom shines. You are not controlled by your emotions. You are the master of them. Another key aspect of inner dialogue is reminding yourself of your goals and values. When faced with disrespect, it's easy to become defensive or emotional. But a well-trained inner voice can remind you of what's truly important, maintaining your peace, staying true to your character, and acting in a way that aligns with your values. This helps you shift the focus from the disrespectful behavior to your own response. What is the most stoic response in this situation? How can you act in a way that preserves your integrity and contributes to your long-term well-being? Think of your inner dialogue as a coach who guides you through life's challenges. When you face conflict, let your inner voice help you stay calm and collected. With time and practice, you can train this inner voice to become a constant source of wisdom, guiding you to respond to disrespect in a way that upholds your dignity and doesn't compromise your peace. The goal here is to create a habit of responding strategically, not reactively. When your inner dialogue is grounded in Stoic principles, you learn to remain centered and act from a place of wisdom, not from emotional reaction. This gives you the freedom to choose how you respond to any situation. And by doing so, you remain in control of your own emotional landscape, regardless of how others behave. So next time you're disrespected, take a step back and listen to the inner dialogue that arises. Is it guiding you toward calmness and thoughtful action, or is it fueling your anger? By practicing this inner dialogue daily, you'll find yourself better able to remain calm, composed, and powerful in the face of disrespect, ultimately reclaiming your emotional freedom and mastery. To conclude, the Stoic principles we've covered can help you stay calm and in control when someone disrespects you. By pausing before reacting, walking away if needed, and thinking long-term, you protect your peace. Laughing internally allows you to see disrespect for what it truly is, an attempt to steal your peace, not a reflection of your worth. Remembering who you are and staying grounded in your values ensures that you don't let others define you. Finally, practicing inner dialogue empowers you to respond strategically, not impulsively. By applying these Stoic strategies, you reclaim your power. You don't let disrespect control your emotions or actions. Instead, you rise above, building emotional strength with each challenge. Next time you're disrespected, stay calm, stay true to your values, and remember, you are the master of how you respond. Thanks for watching, and may Stoic wisdom guide you toward peace and power in every situation.